Hi, Rigsters here. Today I'm going to show, just like I've been doing with videos in War of Tanks recently, is a new series. Just like before, I'm going to do a 2-match review and also show raw credits earned doing the German destroyer path. So for this video today, I will be covering the Tier 2 the German destroyer V-25. The V-25 starts out from the Dresden, which is right here. You first have to go through the Hermelin, which is your starting ship, to the Tier 2 cruiser, and then you go from the V-25, and it's just an easy research path branch-wise after that. You just go straight down all the way to the Z-52. So, do some brief about this ship. This ship, like most Tier 2 destroyers, don't have a lot of the later branch unique features, but it does still have some unique quirks and features that are kind of interesting to discuss and blab about. One of the weird quirks for this particular boat is the unusual torpedo offset system. As you may have noticed, these long metal looking tubes right here, these are torpedoes. And unlike a normal torpedoes where they're more spaced together, they have offset angles. And not only do they have offset angles, this ship in particular has more forward-facing torpedoes, so you don't have to turn away to fire them. Now, torpedoes are very useful against battleships in particular, which are less maneuverable, but sometimes they can work against cruisers and sometimes other destroyers as well. What this ship is generally good at is it's just more of a harasser destroyer, and the revised design generally will rely more on torpedo than main gun hits. However, unlike the Japanese pure torpedo boat path, you can still have workable guns. They just may not be as effective as the gun-based systems that you can also try and play in this game. Like most Tier 2 and up ships in World of Warships, you can upgrade quite a lot of modules when you first start out. So I'd like to go over what I think and suggest you should research first to make this ship more effective. I'd recommend for this particular ship, since torpedoes are more of what it's good at, is to start with the torpedo system right here. Because most of the time in destroyers in general don't really have high hit points, and this ship is unusual in the fact that though the torpedoes will deal damage on a more frequent basis due to its fast reload of 38 seconds, the hull upgrade is not as vital as it is on later destroyer paths. Plus, the range goes from 5 kilometers, and your concealment is 5.4, to 6 kilometers, plus 1,533 damage points, which means that with no camo paint mounted on the ship, and no commander perks or camo skill perks, you will have some distance without getting detected ASAP. Later on in this branch, the German destroyers will gain a few torpedo speed knots with the torpedo upgrade. So I will be buying and mounting that there. Next up is the ship gunnery, or basic information about the guns themselves. It starts off with pretty mediocre for a ship. 3 188 millimeters. The pen have an HE pen of 15 millimeters. They are the next upgrade I highly recommend getting because it is very weak on the HE pen department. The 105s have a lot higher damage and 3 HE more penetration, and not only that, they also have higher HE shell damage. It's just much easier to play the ship with the better guns in conjunction with the torpedoes as well. The last thing on gunnery is the fire control system. Stock is 7.6 kilometers, which is not great, but it's adequate enough for Tier 2 to 3 standards. The upgrade goes from 7.6 kilometers to 8.3. I would recommend doing this upgrade last for this in particular boat is because when you shoot cannons in any destroyer, the increased increased firing range makes your spot bubble when you fire a gun that when you're not in cover or smoke more detectable. So that can also work against you having more range. It's like a catch-22 for destroyers. Although in general, it is a good idea to do eventually, just some ships prioritize this upgrade more than others. And now to the hull upgrade. I would get the hull upgrade before the gunfire control system upgrade because it boosts the survivability rate or survivability HP from 6,900 hit points to 7,700 hit points, along with a faster rudder shift time, which stock is 2.9 seconds, which is pretty workable. It's still agile enough when you first start out, but later on this could be more of a priority on the later tier ships to a even better 2.1 seconds. And funny enough, even though you'll never see CVs in a non-platoon setting on tier 2 if you pair it for tier 3, it gets two 7.92 millimeter machine guns that does 10 continuous damage per second at a whopping 1.5 kilometers. I would advise not having the AA guns on with using the default key binding P because this ship can encounter a catapult spotter on the enemy battleships in particular, and you could risk getting detected or noticed much sooner. So that's why you want to do that. You want to have your AA off when you upgrade the ship hull 95% of the time. You just do not want to have AA on in this ship pretty much for most of its life. So, on from that here, after I buy and mount these upgrades real quick here, like most tech tree destroyers, with some line exceptions, this ship gets 3 charges of smoke that last 20 seconds, with a reload of 160 seconds, which means without commander skill improvements, you have to wait 2 minutes and 45 seconds for the smoke consumable to be available again because it uses a charge and then it recharges after that. The smoke dispersion time is 45 seconds, and what that means is how long that smoke will last once the smoke screen is deployed behind your ship. It is very poor at 45 seconds runtime of that smoke you deployed. However, this can still be useful for a quick strike or to get away to get into cover, but you have to time it correctly. If you mistime the smoke screen in German destroyers, it's going to be pretty painful. Smoke screens are very useful still, but they have their place and limitations. So last thing to discuss for this ship is the engine boost consumable. Like most destroyers in the tech tree ship in the game, again with some exceptions, it gets this speed and acceleration rate improvement by 8%, which is 120 seconds runtime and reload time. So this basically means you have 2 minutes of improved higher engine power, speed, and acceleration rates, so you can dodge or get out of dodge quicker or to slow down faster. It works for acceleration and deceleration, is what engine boost does. For destroyers, it's more dynamic. On cruisers, which some lines get for engine boost, it's not as dynamic. Last thing I want to briefly discuss about is the concealment. The ship is okay with concealment. It's not going to be super awesome as they tend to get quite large later on the tech tree path. It starts at 5.4 kilometers by sea, meaning ships that could spot you with nothing firing on your own ship meaning that if you fire the guns, you get detected faster, but if you're not shooting your guns, you can shoot torpedoes. You get spotted at 5.4 without any modifiers. The air is at a maximum minimum value of 2 kilometers. You can improve this value for low cost, and it's worth doing on destroyers. You really don't want to run without the bare minimum a type 1 camouflage, which decreases the detection range by 3%, which in this ship's case, and also going to auto re-enable resupply, it only costs you 7,500 credits, which is basically pennies on the dollar. So you're not going to lose a ton of credits continuously resupplying this camo. It makes a difference with this camo in particular, 0.2 kilometers better. Now you might be saying, well, that's kind of stupid. It's only a 0.2 difference. However, the difference of 0.2 kilometers may seem silly to a person that's new to the game or doesn't understand how this really works at first, but it always makes a difference in any destroyer in the game. That 0.2 kilometers can mean the difference of getting away from a strike, attacking a target, or trying to survive getting away. So, just like I did with War of the Tanks, I'm going to be doing a 2-match gameplay random battle thing, and I'll show the credits earned on standard, and have some concluding thoughts. So I'll go see you in the match. We're in a match. So, this is what I mean by the unique torpedo offset angles. The Tier 2 German V-25 has torpedoes that can fire almost directly in front of the bow, which is the front of the ship. There's very few, if any, destroyers outside of this line, at least at low tiers, have this. So, also, with the 3 key for torpedo view, you can see that it can cover quite a lot of different angles, allowing for a lot of flexibility with dropping your torpedoes. So, the map is Big Race. This is a map you'll see quite frequently between tiers 2 to 5. I'm pretty sure anything higher than 5, though, doesn't really see this map because of how small it is, because the ranges are much higher as you go up. I'm going to try to see what's going on here. Oh my, there's no battleships. There is a few bots, but it's mostly going to be an interesting, quirky destroyer battle, for sure. Oh boy. Well, I'll go and see how things are going around here. Now, you see this Mita, which is right over here. That is a bot, so he is going to rush in and probably die, because that's what bots do in this game. Wargaming introduced these bots to make queue times for PvP matches faster at lower tiers. So he's getting slammed pretty good. I'm not going to engage any consumables yet. I am going to fire my guns. Never mind. Well, that was pretty easy there. So I'm going to run engine boost and see how fast this ship goes with engine boost active. Let's see how it goes with that being engaged. 38. Oh, not bad. 38 knots is pretty fast for a tier 2. Oh, I gotta slow down, because I want to get into smoke. Try to deploy that smoke screen here. There we go. I don't want to be seen that frequently, but I do want to start backing up because the Bogatar will start firing on me. And he's in torpedo range with the upgraded torpedoes. If the torpedo closes in range in time, it will be able to hit him, possibly. But they're very slow, so it's like a long distance attempt. So instead, I'm going to fire HE on this player destroyer. Luckily, with the 105s, this is not as much of an issue, and another ship just dies. Great. So now I'm going to start moving out of the smoke. The Tiribancha is a tier 2 Japanese destroyer. He's a torpedo boat, so I could outgun him in theory. And yeah, I have the nationality enabled, so the crew notifications are in German. So it's kind of funny to hear occasionally different notifications for the same thing in English. So what else do we got here? Oh, he's gonna get wrecked. So I'm gonna get out of here and try to get around the corner here to see what's... Oh, there's a tier 2 Japanese cruiser here. Oh boy. Well, let's see if my forward torpedo ability will allow me to hit him. Like right here. Yeah, fire that single torpedo. Yep, engine boost is off. So I just gotta wait a while. Alright, I'm gonna start firing on him. I'm gonna try to see if I can set either a fire or at least get some damage going. Interesting. I did damage his engine. That's kind of funny. Well, let's see what we got here. I don't really seem to do a whole lot of damage with HE, I've noticed as well. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Oh, jeez. I want to start backing up again. It takes a while for the ship to accelerate and decelerate with the without engine boost being active, that's for sure. Oh god. Yeah, I don't want to be detected, so I'm going to stay stealthy. Because I don't want to be just like this destroyer that just died next to me. You have to kind of play a cat and mouse game with destroyers. Always trying to poke at the enemy. You want to try to sneak around if you can. Wherever possible, you know. I'm going to try to see here. What is the spotting range on this? 13.1. I guess that's average. I mean, low tier ships don't have high spotting range to begin with. So let me see what this bot ship is over here. Let me see if I can get some torpedo hits on the bot here. And let's guess right about here. Alright, I'm going to deploy smoke screen and load AP just to see if AP will work out any better. Oh shoot. Overpens. Interesting. Oh, okay. So seems like the AP is working out better, at least in some aspects. Oh boy, I'm getting slammed here. There we go. And I want to start accelerating forward. Oh man, that was close. Let's see if I can hit this Bogotá with AP. That was very close. The extra hit points from the hull means that instead of having, like, say 900 hit points left, I have 1,900 to work with. So I'm almost out of the fight, but not entirely. It's not, like, the worst thing ever. I'll switch back to HE because there's still 2 destroyers left. And AP doesn't do squat against other destroyers in general. So let's see what this guy's doing. Ah, I see. So I'm just gonna start dodging and weaving here. Start maneuvering like a madman. Just wiggle with A and D, people. A and D. Yeah. What else do we got here? Oh. Gee, my knees. He's right there. I better start dropping torpedoes on him. And then fire one ahead and behind, because these torpedoes are extremely slow. For, even by low tier standards, they're awfully slow. And then fire forward one right about there. See if those 2 hit. Yeah, there we go. Torpedoing a destroyer. Always love doing that. And that's what I mean by the offset torpedoes, is you have so much flexibility of where to place them. That's what makes, at least the low-tier German destroyers more unique in that aspect. Sadly, they lose this ability, I think it's at tier 4 if I remember correctly. The tier 5 and up are more conventional layout in that aspect. Well, this Tatra is going there. Oh boy. Well, you know what? Don't risk it for the biscuit. I'm just gonna open up on him and hope for the best. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright. That was quite interesting. So now I'll just keep the Bugaitar? It's a Russian tier 3 cruiser. I'll just maybe get in range? Yeah, why not? YOLO, you know, as they say, you only live once. So, I think I have quite a lot of fun in this little destroyer here. It's not insane damage numbers, of course. No, that's pretty funny by our teammate. Come back, we love you. That just cracked me up right there. I gotta say, chat sometimes can be very weird, but that is pretty funny. So, what else do we got here? Well, I could try closing the range, I guess. That I could do. So why not? It's like, why not both? Win the game and get maybe another kill? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get that cash money. So, he's turning away, I think. I'm using left shift view to see closer here. Alright. He's going that way, so I'm gonna guess he's gonna be there. And here. With torpedoes, you just basically, the fine art of torpedoing is you just guess. You use the shaded white line as an estimator, and you either go ahead or behind of it, depending on ship positioning. Not a bad victory there. 60,000 gross. Let's see what we earned credits-wise on standard. So, unlike in World of Tanks, World of Warships is much easier to display and talk about credit earning, because the way they lay out the information screen. So, and if you have standard account, that would have been 50,158. If I didn't use camo, let's see here, 7,000. I would have earned 58,600-ish credits, which of course is a difference of 7,500. So that's actually not bad profit for a tier 2. Earning between 30 to 80,000 on standard, not premium, standard, is usually a general rule of thumb of what you can expect to make on a decent win like that. Premium, of course, adds a multiplier of 30,000 for this particular match. So I'll go to one more. We now have 2 battleships, but they're both bots. As a matter of fact, there's about slightly less bots this time. About similar amount of destroyers and a little less cruisers. So let's rush B. No, just kidding. I'm going to A. On this map, Solomon Islands. Now this map, I should say match, map, usually sees tier 2 to 4, and occasionally 5 sees this map, but after 5 you never see this map. In general, for map rotation notes, I'm going to be going to A mostly because B's deaf, at least at the start, in my opinion. It's very risky. I mean, it's not like you can't make it work, but I want to actually try to show more decent play than just doing a Mimi rush B, oh no, kind of stuff, you know? And plus, I don't think that would be very entertaining. At least, I'm not sure if I can make that entertaining. Who knows? I don't even know. So, with that in mind, I'm going to try to see if I can sidecap this. I'm hoping that I'll at least encounter some action on A, because it would be quite awkward without that. So, let's see here. Well, Wix is... Oh, that's a player. I thought that was a bot. That is a tier 3, yeah, tier 3 destroyer. It's basically a hybrid-based destroyer. The U.S. Destroyers in general rely more on their guns than torpedoes. Their torpedoes don't get really good till past, say, tier 6. Tier 6 is really when they actually have workable range. They have very short range torpedoes. And with that in mind, we have a enemy destroyer in front, player, and a bot. So I'm gonna smoke up here and start firing. There we go, I'll just play support for him. Luckily at this tier, well, for better or worse, players do not necessarily understand that using smokescreen when you're engaging other destroyers sometimes can actually be more beneficial than just charging straight in. And with my forward firing torpedo, because I keep trying to keep my head on the swivel here, I could do this. I could fire a torpedo and then switch to AP and get some good damaging hits. Whoops. Or at least trying to. What? Wow. I gotta say, bots actually sometimes will dodge torpedoes better than players. I just noticed, you know. Oh, there we go. Got a Citadel hit there with AP. AP on this 102s in particular are actually not bad against light cruisers. Against heavy, not so much, but light cruisers, yeah, they can actually do decent damage to broadsides. As long as you're within, like, say, 6 kilometers. I think they run out of effectiveness past that. Oh! Got a enemy player here, trying to do a hard turn here. Get my torpedo off. Oh. Oh, he missed. And I missed too. There I just fire spread there. Tried to see if I can hit his rudder. Or something of another. Yeah, there we go. That's what you do. Like I said, I can take multiple tries with torpedoes, especially one that maneuverable. I love hitting destroyers with torpedoes because it is the most satisfying kills you can do in a destroyer, outside of going after battleships and getting that devastating strike achievement. It is probably the second most fun kills you can do in destroyers in the game. That is an opinion though. Not everybody will agree with that. But I will say it is fun. I mean, you can tell I'm having fun just by the tone of my voice sometimes. You really do have to kind of be like a squirrel when you play destroyers. You have to go, what? What's that over there? Oh no, you know, kind of mindset, because there's so much you have to keep track of, and it can get overwhelming. That's why destroyers can be some of the hardest classes to play in the game, because it only gets harder once you get to tier 5 and up, because now you have even more mechanics that are dedicated to just finding your little boat here. Luckily, tier 2 to 4, that's usually not a problem. The worst you can ever face between those respective tiers is Hydro, and we'll eventually counter those later on in the future as a possibility. And look at that. Some nice torpedo hits there. Got one flooding. There's a bot here. I probably should have not wasted this smoke though. I think that was a bit derpy of me. But oh well, you know what? You only live once. So let's see if we can get it this time around. Yeah, there we go. Now that's good. That was a good torpedo run there. Granted, this was against a bot. A player would have probably killed me. I kind of messed up the approach too. But I just was so excited to go after this target that I'm like, you know what? YOLO. And sometimes you have to kind of have that mindset with destroyers in general too, is that destroyers, you're going to die even if it's not from bad maneuvering or bad luck. Because you can get bad luck in these ships too, obviously. You have to go with the mindset is you're most of the time you're going to die in destroyers because of your heavy foot pull and other factors. But if you want something that keeps you engaged more frequently, they're not necessarily a bad ship class to still have fun in. It's just, what do you like doing? To me, this is why I like them in general. So, we did 52,605 damage with 2 kills and 2 citadels, and 6 torpedo hits that time. That was a better performance, and another win. Let's see what the credit balance is here. Nice. So we got 69,443 take-home net pay with premium. Wow, that's interesting. So the discrepancy with premium and non-premium account definitely bodes here. Let's see how much that is. 1, 2, 3. Approximately 30 to 40,000 more credits would have been earned on premium on net income. So gross is 119, but actual take home is 109. That is interesting to note. Okay. Well, that's it for this particular video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly have fun making this kind of content. I do realize that the matches can take longer, so the World of Warship videos are going to be a little lengthier, but as I refine and pare this down more, I think this will be like a very fun series to make at least. Let me know if I missed anything, or what do you think about the V-25? Do you think it's worth going down? I mean, today's meta, everything changes a lot frequently, so this is Rigsters' Journey, signing off.